Hi guys, and welcome to another Elementor video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesigntechtips.com. Well, we had a question on one of our Elementor videos here, and they were asking what's the best way of putting a back to top button on your Elementor website. So I've created a little custom one right here. Plenty of free plugins that will allow you to do this, but if you don't want to use a plugin, it's not difficult with Elementor. So let's get started. I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to hit the Edit with Elementor button. Now we've got to write a bit of CSS code to do this today, but don't let that put you off. Any code I write I'll put down below the video, and you're welcome to use it as you wish if you need to. So I'm going to delete what I've got there, and we'll start from scratch. And this will work with both the free version and the pro version. You will have to put the custom CSS in different places for the free version and the pro version. I'll show you that too. So I'm going to create a new section. I'm going to hit the little plus icon on the blue tab there. Widget I'm going to use for this today is available in both the pro and the free, and it's down here, icon box. And the reason I'm using this is purely for the icon. So I'm going to drag this over here. I don't want any content. You might want to leave top in there if you want to, but I'm just going to use an arrow icon indicating it's going back to the top. Let's choose our icon from the icon library. I'm going to say arrow, and I'm going to use an up arrow. Okay, I'm going to make it the size that I want it in a minute, but first we want to put a link in. The only link we want to do to make it go back to the top is put a hashtag in there. Simple as that. I'm going to leave the icon just as it is at the moment. Let's go to style, and size wise, let's bring it up a little bit in size, something like that. Obviously you make yours how you wish. I'm going to give it a black background here, but I'm going to bring the opacity down a bit so if it rolls over the top of something we can see what it's rolling over as well. Okay, well we've pretty much done all we want to do to this module now. I'm going to start writing a bit of CSS. Now let's have a look here. I'm going to pull the dashboard up, and for the benefit of anybody just using the free version, you want to write this in your theme customizer. To get to your theme customizer, go down to Appearance, Customize. Down at the bottom here you'll find Additional CSS, and this is where you want to write your custom CSS. And it's a good idea to give it a title. Makes it easy to find if you write a lot of code, and it's also a courtesy if anybody edits the site after you. So for a title we're going to go /*/ anything that you write in between the two stars will not be read as code, so it's great for titles and notes and things. And then the code I'm going to write in a moment, you'd simply put in here and hit publish. Now I'm actually using the pro version, so I don't need to do it here, but anybody using the free, this is where you need to do it. Okay. Well, I'm going to go back into this little module right here. I'm going to go to the advanced settings. I'm going to go down to custom CSS. Before we can use the custom CSS, we actually have to assign it a name or CSS class so that we can target it with CSS. So we'll give this a class of something that makes sense to you. I'll say btop, back to top. That's great. Obviously that's got to be unique. You mustn't have anything else with the same class as that, or it'll affect that as well. Now this is where we can write the custom CSS in the pro version. And the class name, all class names need a dot or a period in front of them. So it's dot or period, then the class name, btop. Open and close some curly brackets. Now they have got some manual positioning options here, but I like to do it with straight CSS because it seems to just work better. Okay, first thing I want to do is say position colon fixed, because we want it to stay where it is when we put it where we want it. Now where do we want it? I want it right down at the bottom. So I'm going to say bottom 0. As you can see, it's popped down the bottom there. And I want it to be on the right hand side. So I'm going to say right 0 also. Now I need to make it a fixed width because at the moment it's pretty wide, and I know that icon's 70 pixels because that's the size that we made it. So let's give it a fixed width. I'll say width 70 pixels. And we need to force this, so I'm going to use the important. And as you can see, it's popped over to that side there. Now important, I don't like to use it, but sometimes you have to force things with that. Okay, and there it is pretty much. I might pull it out from the side by giving it a pixel value on the right of say 10 pixels. 10 pixels. That just pulls it out from the side a little bit. And I want to give it a very high z-index. A z-index is where an element is positioned. For instance, if you've got this image with a z-index of 10 and you've got something with a z-index of 20 and they overlap, the one with the higher value will always appear on top. So I'm going to give this a crazy high value so it stays on top. So let's say z-index. Let's give it a silly high number. And like I say, don't worry about copying this in real time, the CSS. I will put this down below the video. You can use it and adjust it to suit your site however you wish. Okay, well that's looking fairly good there. If you wanted to adjust it down, you could give it a height as well as a width of 100. But I mean, that position wise works pretty well for me, but just for argument's sake. And again, put a semicolon, and it's right on the bottom. I'm going to take it slightly off the bottom by giving it perhaps 10 pixels on the bottom as well. And it should remain in that position for responsive devices also, because it's just telling it to be in the viewable area. Bottom 10, right 10. Okay, well let's save our changes. I'm going to update and preview the changes. And let's roll down the page. And there we go. We click on it, it goes back to the top. Really easy to do. Now you may think, well, I've got to do that for all pages, but what you can do is go back in there. What we'll do, we'll use the navigator. I'm going to pull that top section down to the bottom so it's out of the way. So we've still got our top layers there. And you can actually save this section. Save it as a template. There it is. And you can add it to any page that you want to save you redoing it each time. Let's just save our changes there. We'll update. Have a look at our page. And there we are. We've got our simple back to the top button. Now, if you don't like the space that that section at the bottom has given you, you can change it to sort of 70 pixels if you need to. The other option would be to create this in one of the existing sections, and once you put it to fixed, it'll be over here. But that way you'd have to create the module, recreate the module. So there you go, guys. There's how to create a simple back to the top button with no plugin, using the great Elementor free page builder. And as I mentioned before, this code that I put down below for anybody using the free version put that in your additional CSS right here, and it'll do exactly the same thing. So there you go, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.